I'll say what I really respect about Mike Shannon is that he has taught for 18 years in the Everett public school system. He grew up in Everett. He's committed to urban education. His mother is an educator, and I just believe he comes from a family that really values public school teaching.
Mike is strong. He has a great deal of integrity.
Mike is a person that I believe we can trust.
Mike is the reason why I'm a union activist. He brought me into the movement. He and I are both teachers at Everett High. Mike is a highly respected teacher. The students absolutely love him.
Mike brought me into becoming, a union building rep and a negotiating team member. I was very willing to follow along with Mike.
Mike's also really smart. So he's easy to talk to, and he's got that kind of easy sense of humor that lets you in. But listen carefully with Mike, because he's also very thoughtful.
He relates very, very well to students. He relates very well to adults. You can hear it in his passion.
He has his students engaged because Mike is an engaging guy. And Mike is that way both inside and outside the classroom.
If you really want to understand what it is about Mike, is that just he is engaging and outgoing, and he will interact with anyone on a level that makes them comfortable and understood and welcome.
He understands what students need. He understands what we as educators need to do to motivate students.
He is a born leader as far as I'm concerned. I've seen him many times in tough situations. He doesn't lose his cool.
Presents himself very well. He's got a calm demeanor. He might get excited about something, or passionate, you might say.
With Mike, he's the type of leader that he will remain calm on a level keel and do what's best for our members.
He is a born organizer. When Mike was in high school, he organized a walkout of the teachers at Everett High, where he went to school, in support of more funding for the schools.
He will sit down and discuss things with fellow board members, some members who may not have the same point of view as myself, but it's refreshing to see that he's willing to bridge the gap between some people who are very opinionated about what they believe in, and I see Mike as that's a true strength of his, that he's able to bring people together.
He listens to the local presidents. He brings those questions and concerns to the board, and then he tries to find a way to take action that is a positive step to helping us get the information that we need.
Mike wants to know what the right thing is, and then once he has all the evidence at hand and he's listened to all the opinions of those that have information about the topic, he knows where the right place to be is, and there is where he's going to stand and hold the ground. And I think that's a very important trait for a leader to have.
I think it's important that Mike serve as our MTA vice president, because I know his experience in the local will help him understand that it's important to reach out to local leaders and collaborate with them.
He understands the importance of working with local presidents to both get information from them about what their needs are in their locals and what their concerns and questions are, and to support them with what they need. He's built a strong community within our 20G region that we know we can rely on each other and reach out to each other for support and information. And then he also believes that information needs to flow both ways, though, from the MTA leadership down to the locals, and from the locals back up to the MTA leadership.
Mike is not oppositional for the sake of being oppositional. Mike doesn't have a mindset and say, well, this is the way it has to be. Mike's entire thing is, what are we doing, why are we doing it, and how are we going to convince people that this is either the right thing or the wrong thing, so that we can engage and change together.
He is willing to sit down with any person, a legislator, governor, teachers, any person, and discuss educational issues with them over a cup of coffee.
Mike has been involved with MEASURE, the North Shore MEASURE Coalition, working on fighting the Charter Cap Initiative. And Mike's been doing that for about a year. He's been involved in this for a long time. And that's the thing about Mike. He's always on the ground, in the trenches, doing the necessary organizing, which takes a long time, but Mike gets it done.
One of the things that another local president and I had an issue with about a year and a half ago was that we felt like we weren't getting enough communication out of the leadership of the MTA office itself. And we said it would be great if there was some way that we could get regular communications from the leadership of the MTA so that we could understand better what the priorities were and what they were working on, so that we could in turn share that with our members and feel like we were better informed about what was going on at the MTA. And Mike took that suggestion and he wrote a new business item that he took before the board of directors, and it was passed. And from then on, we are now getting bi-weekly communications from MTA leadership.
He's someone who I naturally followed into the movement, and I've learned an enormous amount from Mike.
I know this guy has a clear vision of where we need to go and how we're going to get there.
Mike truly believes and wants great education for everyone, and he wants us to have the conditions that allow us to promote and serve our students in the best possible way.
I support Mike Shannon for Vice President of the MTA because Mike is a born leader, he's tough, and he will fight for all of us.
I am voting for Mike Shannon for MTA Vice President because he has the ability to look at all sides of a situation and make an informed and reasonable decision. Regardless of how contentious an issue is, he's able to look at it rationally and present a very clear argument for his position.
I'm supporting Mike Shannon for Vice President of the MTA because I believe he will be a thoughtful and inclusive leader that listens to local presidents and that supports them in what they need.
I support Mike Shannon for Vice President of the MTA because he's a good leader. I believe he takes strong, progressive stances on the issues.
I'm supporting Mike Shannon for MTA Vice President because I believe and know that he will bring MTA together because of his willingness to advocate for our members and for the students of Massachusetts.
The reason that I want to support Mike for Vice President of the MTA is because in all of my relationships with Mike, there's really not another educator I've met who I trust more.